You're tuned in to a one-take
podcast production.
You're listening to It's Not Fantasy, It's Reality.
What's up, everybody? Y'all know what time it is. It's none other than It's Not Fantasy Reality. And this show is straight fantasy football. We doing a whole different way this time. As we've been doing the position-by-position previews, team-by-team early stats before training camp. But now that training camp is in, we're doing our tour of the division. In today's division, we have maybe one of the best divisions in all of football. We have none other than the NFC EAST. Yes, that's right, the NFC EAST. For those who don't know the teams in the East, you have the Chip Kelly Oregon Eagles. You have the Dallas Cowboys. You have the Washington Redskins. And you have the Big Blue Machine, the New York Giants. And today's guest is none other than a close friend of mine. Might as well say my little brother. None other than my man Marvin Mitchell from Travel by Stats. What's up, Marv?
What's going on, Dad?
Unfortunately, you are a Cowboys fan. Unfortunately,
yes.
We have had the privilege in the last couple of years to be around each other. As you say, you like to tell everybody, I have more than one favorite team.
You do.
You claim to say how many teams do you have, and I explained to you that my first team ever watching play was the New York Giants beat the Buffalo Bills in the Super Bowl. But I am a true Lions fan. But you are one of the few people that legit is a diehard Cowboys fan.
Yeah, man. You know I gotta represent for the real Big Blue.
And
the real.
Being a diehard Cowboy fan also makes you pretty much an NFC East scout. You pretty much know your whole division front and back.
Yeah, man. I gotta know the division top to bottom. I gotta know who we gonna beat up on for 6 games out of the season. So I've been watching it for a very long time, watching the NFC East, man. So we definitely should be expecting some good things this year out the NFC East. So, you know, watch out for it. Everybody thinks it's gonna be a down year for us. I think we're gonna get up there this year. So
I think it's gonna be one of the best divisions in all of football. I personally feel that each one of those teams have a great home field advantage when it comes to traveling on the road. And speaking of traveling on the road, you guys have a new football season package you guys are doing. I am booked to go see the Lions. I'm never going to see the Cowboys. I'm booked to see the Lions against the Bears. But go ahead and give us a little information about that real quick.
Yeah, man, we definitely trying to do some big things over here at Travel by Stats. We're based out of Atlanta, based out of Georgia. Basically, what we want to do is get people to go see games that they normally won't see being in Georgia. Even if you want to see the Falcons and such like that, we basically get chartered buses. We get out of town, man. We get the tickets to the game, hotel accommodations, tailgate parties. So it's a real fun thing, man, that we're doing. We get all that set up through us and get booking info and packages. And say it's like you want to go see the Saints. I know you probably don't want to see too much of the Saints, but yeah, man, we basically take care of all that. We get it done. All you gotta do is hit us up on travelbystats.com and we'll take care of that for you.
Yeah, I mean, I thought it was a good day because everybody know One Take Podcast is an internet-based started company, and some of my partners I yet have never met. And everybody know, big ups to my main guy, Brian Meeks out of Wisconsin, and one of my producers, Brian Lovelace, straight out the Chi. We've never met each other, but since we in the NFC North, and you guys are originally from Detroit, and y'all are the weirdest family ever. Y'all from Detroit, y'all love Cowboys. Then you move to Atlanta and still love the Cowboys. I just don't like y'all. But it gives us a chance to do a late season thing where we can meet up. Because, Green Bay and Chicago not that far apart, and give us a thing. And it was a cool idea. Once we found out about it, we most definitely can do that. And I'm considering booking one more of the October 25th game, Atlanta versus Tennessee in Tennessee. Because I got I think Darrell Green, Beckham, and Mariota going to have a big year. If you checked out my podcast earlier, Tennessee is one of those teams I'm leaning towards, kind of like how you brought up the Rams last year.
Yeah. I think Tennessee can do some big things this year, man. Mariota is definitely one of those guys that we got to look out for. Everybody, talk about him as far as, well, can he work outside of the Oregon system and stuff like that? I've seen him throw the ball, man. He's no Jameis Winston. Don't get me wrong. He's not that natural pro-ready, pro-style quarterback that we see in Jameis Winston. But, Mariota, he can move a little bit. He can throw the ball. Let's just see what can happen with him, man. He gets a few weapons around him. I think they have a good year.
Well, we're going to say that conversation later because you say get a few weapons. The boy already got a Magnum 357 and he got 6 bullets in the chamber already, man. He ready.
Yes.
But we gonna focus on this East. Oh, man. I everybody know I do story time. I really didn't want to call you for this podcast because the more and more I talk to you guys, it comes out that I'm a private closet Cowboys fan. I find myself defending Tony Romo quite often. Everyone knows Tony Romo played a key success in me winning my big fantasy tournament last year. So that give me 2 back-to-back. I may not won yours, but you still ain't won one since we've been playing. We're going to make sure we bring that up.
Hey, man, you ain't gotta bring that up, You ain't gotta bring that up. It's all right. I'm going to get my ring this year.
I don't think y'all understand. I had to live with this man for probably on and off for the last 3 years. And we close when we together. We really close. And this bastard has the Cowboys mantra over at the top of his bedroom. You have to see this shit every time you walk in and out of his room. It's the most irritating shit ever. So, with that being said, quarterbacks in the NFC East, from worst to first, everybody know this show is reality football. It's not fantasy, it's reality. We talking straight fantasy purpose. You throw out the wins and loss records because in fantasy, your quarterback can go 0-16. But if he throw for 300 yards and 2 touchdowns a game, you may find yourself with a title. So go from worst to first. Give me your quarterbacks and I'll reply with mine. No.
We're not gonna play that game today. This your show. I gotta get yours so I can. This is my first time on your show, so you gotta give me yours so I can beat you up on your answers first.
All right, I'm not a problem. Worst, the Philadelphia Eagles quarterback staff. None of them played last year, except for, if I'm not mistaken, Mark Sanchez. You got an injured Sam Bradford, which if healthy, Sam Bradford could catapult to being the best in the division. If healthy, we don't know yet. Tim Tebow, sideshow. Mark Sanchez, you seen what you got out of him. Catch fire. So I got to go them last because I don't know what's going on. I really could have put RG3 right there. But I think RG3 has something to prove. He wants to hush all the naysayers. He wants to show that rookie year was not a fluke. That this is who he really is. That he really is a game changer. I don't know what's going on there because you see the talent is still there. I mean, someone decided to tell him don't run. That was his game. You can't take that away from him, and we see what happened. So I got him at the 3rd spot of the division. 2, I have Tony Romo. With the simple fact, I would love to have Tony Romo at 1, but I don't know if the Cowboys actually answered the problem at running back just yet. Because last year, with that run game being as good as it was, with that line being as good as it was, with Marco running as great as he did, Tony never showed up. We got to see Tony Romo play his best ball of his career. And Cole Beasley came on hot towards the end of the year. Dez Bryant is by far the best wide receiver in the game, and this is coming from a Detroit Lions fan who has Megatron.
Ooh, that's strong. I like that. That's strong.
Dez is the best in the game, so you have Dez with him. But I feel like with the tight end situation, Witten is getting a little older. I don't see Romo playing as safe as he did because we don't know where the run game is, and we get to that. And then at 1, I just got to say Eli Manning. With the simple fact, Eli actually has a chance this year to play with a full wide receiver staff. And if y'all know I know my numbers, I just sent out a blind text to a couple people just to see what they thought. if I read these two numbers off, you wouldn't even know the difference between these two. Because some people say, Romo is light years ahead of him. But here's both of their numbers from last year. Last year, Romo threw for 69%. He had 69% pass completing, 3,705 yards, 8.5 yards per pass, 247 yards per game, 34 touchdowns to 9 interceptions. He was sacked 28 times, 7 fumbles to 3 losses. Let's scroll down to my man Eli. Eli had a 63 percentage passing rating, 4,410 yards, 7 yards per attempt, 30 TDs to 14 interceptions, sacked 28 times, fumbled 7 times, lost 4. Those numbers are almost identical. If Eli wasn't playing from behind, him and Romo might have the same exact numbers. And we're talking about Romo playing the best football of his career. And we're talking Manning did this the first half of the season, no Victor Cruz or ODB. He had Larry Donnell and Ruben Randall, and I want to say Steve Smith. Then when ODB came, if ODB is anything of what he showed those last 7 weeks in fantasy, with Victor Saucer Cruz, probably the most dangerous slot wide receiver ever, you got to give Eli the nod over him.
Okay. First, let me answer that question. Before I start my list, we both got the Eagles roster. We're not gonna say quarterback. They might put a punter at quarterback this year. They got their roster last. The Redskins, RG3. I think RG3 has something to prove, man. He do gotta step it up. We don't know if he's gonna be fully ready to go. Obviously, he's gonna be there. Well, not even obviously. I think he's gonna be there mentally. But as far as him getting his numbers, we don't know. That's dead. Let's talk about this 1 and 2. This is what I really want to get into. All right. You say their numbers are identical, which is true. Eli's stats are actually a little bit better. Here's the thing. Tony Romo didn't have his best season stat-wise last year. Tony Romo had his most efficient season last year.
Granted.
Tony Romo had a season where he beat the naysayers. What I mean by that is everybody was waiting for Tony Romo to have a Tony Romo moment. Don't you say Tony again, because that was very disrespectful. I want to get to that. That was very disrespectful. But he didn't have his normal Tony Romo season to where it was, all right, the Cowboys are up 3 touchdowns. Let's wait and see what Tony's going to do to blow this game. He didn't have that moment. He had it the first game of the season, but we all know how that went because, against the 49ers, he was still kind of hurt. He was just getting back into the groove. He didn't really play much in preseason. So, okay, I get it. But the rest of that season, he pretty much had, if not one of the most perfect seasons for a quarterback because his quarterback rating was beyond the charts. It was the best quarterback rating season since they've had the QBR in the NFL. Now, you talk about Eli Manning's yards. He threw for 4,400, right?
Yep.
He also had 600 passing attempts.
But I said that, but I'll let you, I went ahead and let you win because you have to factor in the fact that Eli was playing from behind. If you remember when I said, if Eli wasn't playing from behind, him and Romo would have probably had the exact same numbers because them being behind, that means Eli chucked the ball up even more. Eli couldn't be efficient because they played from behind half of the year.
Exactly. The Matt Ryan effect. We won't talk about that pitiful division. Anyway, back to the NFC East. Yeah, I mean, so if you factor those in, then you can actually say that wise, Eli Manning didn't have that bad of a season. As bad as the Giants looked last year, he didn't have that bad of a season that Eli is known to have. We've seen Eli throw 26 interceptions in the season. That's horrible. Can't do that. I want to say something that I don't want to say over the air, and this is recorded, this is live. I really don't want to say it. I have the same exact thing that you have.
That's odd, because we don't agree on shit.
We don't agree on a damn thing.